then a couple of cats went out looking for it. What they found wasn't about, being on the radio. It's about being who they are, like it's with Donald. He has no choice about it. He has no choice. He has to be this.
This is Dom Start. Second shooting day, scene 1, take 1.
Check. So, this is my little space by the beach, my little 3 walls to make colourful and to show off, basically, on Brighton seafront. I've been here for about a year and a half or so. It's been pretty good. It's a touristy place. Like, I get much more people that are interested. They want to talk to me rather than they want to buy something. Everyone's interested that I do music as well, which is great for me because, if anything, the painting and the music they should work off of each other. It's good. I generally just get to hang out and talk to people, and then they go and visit my website and become interested in me.
I first met Dom around 10 years ago through a musician wanted ad. I posted online looking for people to play music with, and out of the people who responded, Dom's reply was definitely the most intriguing.
To make some noise is probably what it said. That's what he says a lot. If I had to use one word that describes Dom, I'd probably say wizard. You know, the beard and the smoking and the psychedelia. He's got this kind of shaming thing going on.
Very much into music. We were always listening to music in the back of the car. Like my mum talks about me like bouncing along to David Bowie's Gene Genie when I was, all too young to remember. Like I remember listening to Nevermind when I don't know, I must have been about 8 or 9 or something. On a little kind of beatbox CD player thing, just on repeat. I just fucking loved it. I loved all the words. I was singing along constantly. There are very few bands at my school, but there are a couple of people that were doing like Guns N' Roses tribute band. Again, I'm not so much into Guns N' Roses, but I wanted to play the drums, and these people I never really thought back then that it would be a proper lifestyle thing for me. I knew that I just enjoyed it. I just liked hitting things hard and keeping the rhythm. But being a kid, I always wanted to grow up. I didn't really want to be a kid anymore. I remember that. I don't know, just there's something about Southampton. Like I don't mean to be so down on it. It's not such a bad place, but it's not a very creative place. It doesn't seem like creativity is particularly celebrated. If someone's different or stands out, it's generally seen as a bad thing, I remember being so nervous on occasions, like visibly, shakably nervous. Like I could hardly, my voice was wobbly, I could hardly play kind of thing. And because of those experiences, I thought that I really needed to just get out onto the street and sing loudly and proudly, And it worked. It took away my stage fright completely. It's more terrifying just sitting on the street and singing out loud than it is on stage. When I did busk, I took my paintings out with me, so I was like surrounded by my early paintings. One day, a woman came across and just started chatting to me, as some people do when you busk. And it turns out she was from New York and had just finished a master's at the same university as I was, but was just about to head back to New York in a couple of weeks. So we dated for a little bit when in Canterbury, but we kept in contact when she went back to New York. And she was like, well, just come out to New York, we'll get a place. And she was a painter as well, by the way. And we'll get a place and we'll travel around. And that sounded like a great idea. So I packed my bags and went off to, it was Southampton, Long Island, actually. So I went from Southampton, UK to Southampton, Long Island.
Super strange tuning I have on my guitar. So
how did you get to the tuner?
just messing about. I used to use drop D quite a lot, and that's what this is.
Yeah.
But then I just thought if I make the whole guitar kind of like a drop D as well.
I was doing some kind of installation, sound installation stuff at the time, and I went to some artsy, craftsy showing of local artists out in Long Island, and I met this Latina woman who was a painter. I liked some of her paintings, and Dom was her boyfriend. And I couldn't put them two together, and we've had some conversations about that after the fact. But yeah, I met her, and he was her boyfriend, and next thing you know, they're at my house, and I was doing a lot of work with, you might call it noise music. And so they came up and they checked out what I was doing, and Dom was very interested in that. He likes to use noisy bits here and there. Sometimes I just like to use noise and nothing else. So he got really into it, and she did too. And, they spent a weekend and we hung out and drank and talked. And yeah, it was, I remember it well.
I first met Dom in 2014, and he came down and he wanted everything to be as loud as it possibly could be. He put the PA up to maximum volume, and he put the biggest amplifier. I got him the biggest amplifier we had, and that was up to maximum volume. And he then, on top of everything being the maximum volume, he then used a megaphone to sing into the microphone. It was so loud that me and the other members of staff had to go and sit outside, and this was in a soundproofed room that he was in. So despite my construction skills, he managed to overcome that with his volume.
remember being told, oh, you should get on Facebook for your music, This is a long time ago, by the way. I never really understood why everyone would want to put up everything about yourself, you know. Saying that with music, obviously, it means that little bands can get a lot of attention. You know, everything's online these days. I was never into it too much, and even these days, like, I kind of intentionally don't post that much at all. I've just done my fucking book. I haven't told anybody about it online yet. I started doing that a few years ago, just like not posting anything. Even if I do a whole album or something, I won't put it on my Facebook because people find out about it anyway.
I've had a very peripatetic life. I've done a lot of things, so people have come and gone through my life a lot. But some have been so remarkable that I've kept tabs on them. I make sure I know what they're doing. Dom is one of those very few.
I would say that Dom has changed over the course of knowing him. I would say that his music has become quieter and that has become more intricate. And I think that's reflected in him as a person as well. I would say that over time he's refined his art to a point that it's become very, very interesting.
When I was in New York, they called it they call it like the city that never sleeps. Fuck me, it's this little street right here that never fucking sleeps. They shut down Manhattan before they shut down St. James Street in Brighton.
The most interesting experience I had with Dom was recording his band and to work with him musically, which is an amazing honour. To watch him not only work on the day, but also the preparation that he put in, the work that he was willing to put in to get the result that he needed was very impressive. And he was one of the most talented musicians we ever had come through the doors of Lucky Stone Studio. Just discover him for yourself, find him, find his music, find his art, find the guy, and that's it. Discover him for yourself.
Well, my last couple of months have been busy making a little book. It's kind of taken from all of my lyric books and just writing my lyrics up kind of as poetry with little fun doodles. Overgrown gorgeous. The famous Sunbelly drum kit. It's seen better days, but it still works. It's still beautiful. I think that literally is going mouldy. This is not good. I wrote fuck on this one because I got pissed off with it. I went through this whole thing, I quite liked it, and then really messed up the skull. It does not even look like a skull at all. Anytime you get a bit of hate thrown at you, it's probably because you've done something interesting, or because you've done something to get someone's attention, you know. If you get a comment here and there or whatever, yeah, you shouldn't take it to heart, but my heart goes out to the kids that do end up taking it to heart.
You can sing it.
There's no confusion in someone like Dom. He has to be who he is, and he knows who he is.
I've never had a pet, actually. I've been around lots of animals, and like I like animals, and animals come and see me. Like I keep on having cat visitors. Every house I have, I end up having a cat visitor. But no, I've never like owned an animal. I've just been friends with animals, which is kind of nice. I would prefer not to own this seagull. He's quite happy doing this. He looks like a very clean seagull.
In the sense that he's forceful or anything of that sort, but that he's a force of nature. And I think that comes from another word that might be used, authentic. I think when we meet people who are authentic, we do experience them as forces of nature, you know? And Dom is that. Dom has a pretty powerful effect on people.
I never felt like an artist. I thought that was much too good a category to put me in, really. It's more of a lifestyle than it is any kind of source of income. But you can live off lifestyles, you know. Creating a new canvas or a new work of art totally sustains me. It fills me with as much joy as fucking anything, as literally anything.
There are examples that are just like Dom out of the American South in like the 50s, and we're still doing it 30 years later because it wasn't about, you know, being on the radio. It was about being who they are, like it is with Dom. What you're looking at is the life of someone who is essentially an artist, like by nature. Like he has no choice in the matter. He has no choice. He has to be this.
I thought the galleries were someplace that, you know, for other people, not for me. I think being so young and enthusiastic did me quite well, and I got a surprising response. You know, I didn't expect to get any exhibition at all. Carrying my paintings around with fucking string, do you know what I mean? I was sitting on the street with my guitar busking, just making Canterbury look pretty, sort of. And again, talking to people. That's mostly what I've been doing for the last 20 years, talking to people on the fucking street. But I don't really know what's happening in the future either, other than making more and yeah, keeping on going for my own life, I suppose, for my own sake. Like, it's not even about this, but am I going to be on a cover of a magazine or headlining a, you know, festival sort of blah 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 blah. I would be really fucking surprised right now. I'd be really fucking surprised. I'd do it and I'd do a good job, but you know, I would be really fucking surprised. Will my music be out there, my paintings be out there for people to find? Yeah, they will be. And hopefully when people find it, I don't know, I excite something. That's all I want to do. I just want to set off little bubbles of excitement in people.
Deep religious faith, past death, past rainy days, or the distraction of ladies' smocks all silver white. Beyond the remote borders of poetry itself, If it does not drive us, it is vain. Yet it is that which made El Greco paint his green and distorted saints and live lean. It is what in life drives us to praise music and the old, or sit by a friend in his last hours. All that which makes the pear ripen, or the poet's line come true. Invention is the heart of it. Without the quirks and oddness of invention, the paralytic is confirmed in his paralysis. It is from a northern and half-salvage country where the religion is hate.